Okay, Aston Villa have sacked Dean Smith after a 5-game losing streak, and in the modern game it's no surprise. But 10, 15 years ago, he's given time to fix the situation, get to January, sign some players, and coach the team out of trouble. Managers aren't given that time anymore. They're not. Um, and, I don't know where Villa go from here. I don't know if they get in. I don't know if they were planning this sacking before the last defeat, during this losing streak. I don't know, but I think a lot of the issues Villa are facing this season is they've sold Jack Grealish. They've sold their captain and playmaker, and when you lose that kind of important figure at your team, it's very hard to sometimes replace what you've lost, and that will contribute to a drop in form. But I can understand Villa fans being frustrated with the performances. There are teams playing a lot worse than Villa right now. Burnley, Newcastle, Norwich, and actually Leeds as well. Leeds haven't had a good start to the season. They've been poor. Watford hadn't been great, and they've sacked the manager and replaced him with Ranieri. I don't know how many more managers Watford can go through before they run out of available managers to hire. And that's a bit of humour, but that's kind of seriousness of the point. Is Villa have been badly managed off the field with ownership for a long time, on and off. In the last, I'm going to say 10 years, the off-field issues with Villa, with Randy Lerner, and then the financial issues that followed on from that, the relegation to the Championship, the bounce back, which took a while, it didn't happen overnight, it did take a little bit of time, and where they are now with Dean Smith and sacking him. Yeah, there's been some poor ownership along the way. And Villa, with a whole host of other clubs, have been less successful in recent times. I can remember when Villa were regularly in Europe, admittedly what is now the Europa League, so the old UEFA Cup, challenging or being in the top 6 or 7, not quite necessarily the top 4, but being there or thereabouts and being solid and having some pretty good players. Like, pretty good players is an understatement. They had a the earlier part of the Premier League era, they were a very, very good side. The second half of the Premier League era, they have been declining for a long time. They're not the team they were 20 years ago. And that's part of the problem. The direction, what direction is the club taking? Because it was unthinkable that they could get relegated from the Premier League, because a lot of people say they're too big to go down. Loads of other clubs have been told they're too big to go down. But Villa have a great history, and whoever comes in, I think Dean Smith has built some good foundations there, but whoever comes in needs to be given some backing in the January transfer window and needs to be given time to turn it around. They do. And unfortunately, in the modern game, time is something that is lacking at a lot of clubs by a lot of owners. A lot of owners are very impatient and want to win straight away. It doesn't happen like that. You don't build a winner overnight. Do I think it was a harsh sacking? A little bit. But it's the modern game. 5 games without a win, you're under pressure. 5 defeats in a row, you're definitely under pressure. So it's one of them. It is. I think a slightly harsh sacking, but at the same time, look at the clubs around them. Only Leeds and Burnley at the clubs below them haven't changed manager this season. So Bielsa and Sean Dyche, are they under pressure? A little bit, but I think the owners are going, they can get us out of this. The owners are backing their managers at this time. That may not be the case in a month or two's time if results for Burnley and Leeds don't improve. However, what is interesting is other clubs around Villa have also changed manager this season. That also means a quarter of the Premier League has changed manager this season at least once. At least once. We're in November. I feel sorry for football managers, I really do. There's no job security anymore. There really isn't. Unless you're Man City, Liverpool, or Leicester, there is no job security. I don't think Leicester fans are angry at Leicester having a slightly slower start to this season. They won silverware last season. In fact, they won the Charity Shield at the beginning of this season as well. Man City, hey, they keep winning silverware. There's no pressure on Guardiola unless they really start falling back this season. And there are one or two signs that they're looking a little bit fragile this season, that they might have peaked as a group, and may need a few changes. But they're still winning games. They're still in the top four. Liverpool under Klopp, again, no move to go. Oh, you're not having the best. Last season wasn't the best season. Yeah, still got me Champions League qualification. And there was a time where there were people going, "Oh, Klopp needs to get sacked. They're losing games." Still finished in the top three. Still finished in the top three. And again, recent amounts of silverware coming in, winning the league title for the first time in 30 years. I don't think there's any rush to get rid of Klopp. One of the clubs at the top end of the table that's having a bit more of scrutiny is Manchester United with Solskjaer, and they've had some real horrifically bad results this season. And losing that Europa League final, yeah, that's added a bit of pressure there. So Solskjaer, yeah, he's under a fair bit of pressure at the moment out of the top 6, 7 clubs. But every other club, right, in the top half of the table, Spurs obviously have changed manager. Maybe Arteta at Arsenal. There's a bit of pressure on a couple of clubs, but most of the we've got to win now and change it, bottom half of the table. And the fact that, yeah, a quarter of the league has changed manager already this season tells you what you need to know about, A, how cutthroat the Premier League has become. We're in November. And B, the lack of patience with owners. A lot of owners are expecting miracles straight away. It takes time to build foundations to be successful. It does not happen overnight. But one quarter of the league has changed managers. That's ridiculous. And we haven't even got to the Championship, League One, League Two, and the European leagues, because we'll be here for hours going through every single managerial change, because it's ridiculous. But there we go, Dean Smith gone. I don't know who they get to replace him. I mean, Norwich sacked their manager yesterday, so that's 2 clubs looking for managers in the bottom 5. I believe Newcastle Eddie Howe is going to be confirmed in the next 24 to 48 hours. Who wants to go into that situation? Honestly, who in their right mind wants to go, you know what? Relegation fight. If I don't succeed, I'm out of a job in 6, 7 months. Ooh. They're expecting miracles. Who wants to do that? There's no job security in management anymore. None. And there are some people saying there needs to be a rule change where a manager cannot be sacked mid-season, has to be given a season. And at the end of the season, you review and then you part ways. Because there is just no job security, and it is very, very difficult. You've got to feel sorry for some of these managers who, just don't know if they're going to have a job from one week to the next. That takes a lot out of you mentally. Has to. That will affect how you deal with players and backroom staff and ownership. If you don't have any job security, that's going to play with your head, and that will affect how your team plays. It will. But there you go. Dean Smith gone. Who replaces him? How many more managers go this season? It's a good question. Thank you very much for watching. Place your thoughts below, and I'll have some more videos for you very, very soon.